Hi, my name is Shasta Sprouse, and today I'll be talking about reading comprehension or comprehending stories. As I mentioned, today I'm going to be talking about comprehending stories or reading comprehension. I chose this topic because as a teacher, I have found that this can be a tricky subject to teach. So in my presentation, I have outlined several different practices for reading comprehension. I'm going to be talking about 3 different learning objectives. 1, I'm going to talk about why reading comprehension or comprehending stories is important. 2, we're going to obtain strategies for reading comprehension. And 3, look at ways to differentiate instruction for all students to comprehend stories. In the text, there are 5 reading components that help students with reading comprehension. First is pre-reading. This could be for younger students looking at pictures through the book, and for older students scanning a book. Reading, responding. This could be class discussions or even blogging. Exploring, which could be use of vocabulary. And applying, which is project-based learning. The first objective we'll look at is reading comprehension and why it's important. First of all, reading comprehension is necessary for all subjects. Science, math, social studies, you name it, it is important to be able to read text and understand what it means. Second, comprehending stories is the first step in comprehending important information or documents in the future. And lastly, reading comprehension is relevant in every SOL or content test. The second learning objective we'll look at is strategies for comprehending stories. The first strategy is guided reading. Students can either do this independently or they can do it with teachers. With teachers, students are grouped with other students with similar reading skills. With teachers, texts are usually a grade level higher. With independent reading, they are usually at the student's grade level. Study shows that using a grade level higher helps students with reading comprehensions. Teachers use guided reading practices to help determine why maybe errors occur within reading. This is why it is important for students to read slightly above reading level when they are reading within a group setting with a teacher. This gives teachers an idea of what students may be struggling with so they can help correct them. The second strategy I will be talking about is using reader's theater. The textbook talks about reader's theater and how it uses text and turns it into scripts. Students then take the scripts and they act the text out. An article I found talks about how reader's theater helps students comprehend text by using oral interactive reading practices. Reader's theater is said to help reading comprehension because reader's theater helps students master prosody. Prosody, according to an article, is related to comprehension almost as strongly as rate. Prosody has to do with someone's tone of voice. So for example, an actor or an actress has to master prosody in order to act. Next, we're going to look at differentiation strategy practices for reading comprehension. First, we'll look at oral strategies. First, you could do hot seat interviews, you could do retelling stories, or my personal favorite, making podcasts of stories. This would be especially fun for students who like history or maybe like cold cases of crime. They could easily make a podcast of something they have read. The second type of differentiation strategies I want to talk about is written strategies. These strategies can be used to practice reading comprehension. They include crafting original stories, writing entries in reading logs, or doing written retellings of stories. So, for example, students could take a regular fairy tale and then write it from the villain's point of view. The last differentiation strategy I'm going to talk about is visual strategies. These 3 strategies help students practice reading comprehension. These include designing quilts, illustrating storyboards, and presenting puppet shows. While I have given examples of oral, written, and visual strategies, there are many different strategies to help students practice reading comprehension in the classroom. To tie everything together, I just want to reiterate that while reading comprehension can be a tricky subject to teach, it is super important for students to understand what they are reading, and that includes in every subject, and that includes in their future as well. With these strategies, students will be able to understand text more efficiently and have fun doing it.